All right, so we are back playing a little bit more Modern. We are starting off with a slightly more competitive than perhaps our average deck, but still a little bit off meta. We are playing Aspiring Spike's Grixis Sprite deck. This is, of course, a Lurrus deck, so we are on a non-stop Lurrus kick for a little while here. Just for funsies, though. I'm sure we'll get off of it in a moment. In fact, I know we will, because I know the next deck we're playing. But this one is yet another Lurrus deck. This is a blue mid-range... Actually, this is a blue aggressive deck. Let's call it an aggressive tempo-style deck. So we are using Sprite Dragon along with Mishra's Bauble and Lurrus of the Dream Den in order to create an early game or mid-game monstrosity with Sprite Dragon triggering off of Mishra's Bauble again and again as we cast the Bauble off of Lurrus of the Dream Den. So for a refresher, Sprite Dragon is blue and red for a creature fairy dragon 1/1 flying haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Sprite Dragon. So this is an aggressive creature that can be surrounded with a number of cheap non-creature spells in order to increase its efficacy. So to that end, we have things like Opt, Mishra's Bauble, Spell Snare, Cling to Dust, Unearth, Lightning Bolt, and Seal of Fire to sort of slam the door on our opponents relatively quickly and try to get them dead. And these are all backed up by Force of Negations, a little bit of card advantage and Archmage's Charm. Snapcaster Mage in this deck basically hangs out at the 3 CMC spot, although you can throw one down in the early game and just start beating down if you have one and you need to. Then our sideboard has some more tools to deal with the breadth of the Modern format. So we have played a number of different Grixis decks in this style on this channel. So let's see how we can do with this one. Last night with some kooky, crazy decks, we actually 4-1'd twice. So let's see what happens if we play something a little more focused and competitive here in the Modern format. Oops, there we go. I did it. I found the stream I want, the screen I wanted. The scene I wanted. And we're against Layden here with their sweet Zodiac Dragon avatar. And they have revealed Urian. Against a Urian deck, can I keep this hand? Got the potential to draw 2 different cards and dig at least 4 deep before we need our second land. So let's keep this. I know we are a 19 land deck, so it's a little sketch here, but I want to push it to the limit. Walk along the razor's edge. Ooh. Urian deck with Oath of Nissa. Wonder if we're against Planeswalkers. Okay. So if they try to play a Ren and 6, we're definitely going to deal with that. And we peeled the land like a champion. So everything up from this point forward should be pretty straightforward. Fire off this Apt. Don't need another Snapcaster. Sprite Dragon is groovy. Do I want to play my Sprite Dragon into their potential counter magic? I think we're okay to just jam this here. With them having blue-green untapped. They could have Spell Snare or something of that nature, and I don't really know what they're playing, but we're fairly insulated from anything they could play on their turn. And there's no real removal they could be playing with blue-green only. So we'll see how this develops over the next couple of turns. I'm not really Frightened of anything they could have here. Catacomb. I assume we're going to start seeing some Planeswalkers played here at some point. Really? Okay. Well. Dude. So if they have a Ice Fang Quotl, they are having multiple answers for this, so I'm not being particularly concerned. A little light on blue cards, thanks to these Cling to Dusts, just chilling. No fetch. No idea what this is. Okay, they have a lot of colors. Okay, they've got an Astrolabe. So we need to find an Archmage's Charm in order to be able to stop their Urian, which is slightly concerning because I don't actually have... okay, the land is good. Okay. So if they have a Urian to play next turn, there's nothing I can do about it. What I can do, though, is play a second Sprite Dragon and just get the heat on. The heat is on. The heat is on. The heat is on. Do-do-do-do-do. Spell Queller. That's a yikes. Alright. You got him. You got my sprightly dragon. Okay. Crack you for 3. Alright. So if they have the mana and they can just slam their Urian here, that is definitely a good choice for them. But we don't know that they know that. They probably do. Teferi. I'm going to take a little gamble here and exile. If I exile the Snap, I have the maximum amount of options left afterwards in terms of what I can do about this on the next turn. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. Plus, they have 2 mana open now, so there's a good chance they have a 2 mana spell if they were planning on playing Teferi rather than playing Urian. Do 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 do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Another force. Okay. That's something. Mana Leak. Now there's a card that I forgot was in our deck just generally. So crack in with my 5/5. Bang. No kidding. Opponent elects to block. Would I like to cast my dragon? Yeah, sure. There is a reasonable chance we can kill them next turn. We've got 6 power in play, plus the Seal Fire, so we just need to play a single spell on their turn, and we would actually prefer to do so. So hopefully they play something here. It's possible if they play something like Path to Exile, I'm just going to fire off Force of Negation, pitching Force of Negation, because it means we'll have Mana Leak and Spell Snare left over afterwards to attempt to play through the rest of their counter magic. I suppose the other option is to pitch one of the Spell Snare or the Mana Leak to the Force of Negation, and then pitch the other one to the other Force of Negation, or just hard cast it. So this has got to be Orion. All right, so I'm going to Mana Leak that, and this should be game. Dude. Concession? Concession Mana Leak? Huh? Yay! Got him. All right. Sideboard cards. Stroke is probably good. I don't know how much of the rest of any of this I want. I don't really know what they're doing. I think Stroke is probably better than a Cling. And maybe you want Aether Gust instead of something, but I don't actually know. If anyone is paying the maximum amount of attention to everything that I post everywhere, I put up a screenshot of this deck list with a 14-card sideboard. That is what I found from Spike's Stream Decker. So I just threw an extra Seal of Fire, the 4th in the 75, into the sideboard, but maybe it was supposed to be a second Disdainful Stroke. So I think one Cling and one Unearth out here is fine. Maybe they're an Uro deck. There's a good chance that they are. And Cling is still a cantrip, as it was that game. I'm leaving the Spell Snares in. I think it's likely they have some 2 CMC spells and they just didn't draw any there. They probably have Icefang Coatl. Zicotl. Oh, do I still have the thing up? Yeah, I do. Nice. Love it. Sprite Dragon. With a bunch of cool looking symbols. Look at that. Look at this. That's so cool. Look at you, Japanese. Look at you. All right. 2 lands, grip full of spells, no threats. Let's go, baby. I'm sure we'll find a threat. And being able to control our way into the mid game is really all we should need, because we do have Lurrus. Obviously, there's no Mishra's Bauble or Seal of Fire. When people refer to it as Mishra's Bauble, it always makes me think that they probably call it Urza's Bauble. It just sounds so like, I don't know, not unintuitively English pronunciation. It's like a very unintuitive pronunciation for an English speaker. And by that, of course, I do mean like North American English. Which is obviously a narrow way to look at things, but I'm just speaking from experience. All right, so we've got Drown X2 here, but we also have Mana Leaks and Opt, so we are kind of jamming, kind of grooving along here. Grooving along. Erit, wah. Yeah, there's the Uro. So kind of wish we had kept the other Cling, but we'll just go digging for it. I'm not countering the first Uro. Counting the second half of it is way more important. They could accelerate here, but like what they're accelerating into doesn't really intimidate me, and they missed their land drop anyway, so let's take an Opt. One more land is okay. This deck can actually function with a good number of lands in play, but I definitely don't want to draw another fast land. That would be less than ideal. All right, if I had a Bauble, I would crack it off here. Sorry, I would snap off playing the Lurrus here, except I would be making an illegal play because I don't have 2 black sources. So let's not do that, and instead just play the Seal of Fire. I bottomed the second Darkslick Shore, which means I bottomed the second black source, but I think I'll probably be okay. There we go. Another black source. And a threat. Dude. Sprite Dragon. Alright. We attacking here? Yeah, we attacking here. They do have 3 snowlands in play, but we've got Seal of Fire, so if they have an Ice Fang Quaddle, they don't get to do anything. We just get Crispy Charred Ice Fang, just like Crispy Charred Merfolk. I am the romancer, the passion that consumes the flesh. Seal of Fire. It's like these cards have got like poetry on them or something. I like it. I don't know how much I like it, but I like it. Cards have poetry. Okay. Yeah. You got a leaky gal there, friend. I can fix it for you, but it's going to the graveyard first. Yeehaw. Oops. All right. A little flooded here, but we've got a really good hand, so we're going to be fine. Next turn, we have enough mana to play Lurrus and keep a Drown in the lockup. Maybe I could have just jammed Lurrus this turn with nothing in reserve, really, but I don't know if that's really the right strategy against a deck that can pull ahead as hard as they can. Yeah, let's go ahead and Archmage's Charm here. If they have counter magic, they may be incentivized to blow it here. They're missing a color, though. Wow. Yikes. Well, that was an A+ pickup. Let's just fire off this Cling. Unfortunately, when we use it on a creature, we gain 3 life instead of drawing a card, which is obviously not my favorite. Drawing cards is the best, but I guess I'll take it. I just don't know sometimes. Crack. It's one chonky dragon. Concession land miss? Oh, hit the land. Word Doctor. Looks like we may have a game of Magic on our hands here. If they elect to play Urian, we could just play Lurrus, crack Seal of Fire on their face, replay the Seal of Fire, and then our Sprite Dragon would be at 5. This costs 4 and exile other cards. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this. So we got the mana covered, and we'll just exile Delta, Opt, Tarn, and Mana Leak. Good, good. Boot. So Cling to Dust is really sweet because it just hangs out in your graveyard, and occasionally you get to these points where you just have stuff to do. You also get to exile cards of their graveyard. I mean, yikes. I mean, okay. So I've got a 5/5. I don't really need to commit to the board more. And they are playing white in their deck, which means they could have Supreme Verdict. So I think we're just going to keep them on the 5-turn clock here. Okay, they've put themselves a little lower, so let's see what happens here. They on 5 colors? They are. Well, that's rude. Oh, that's so rude. Okay, sure. Oh crap, I can't drown. Luckily they didn't have anything there. Okay, so it's very unlikely that they're going to Verdict. They'd have to get 2 white sources, which is possible, but not likely. And they are at 12 from having to do that. So they're definitely in some dire straits. Do 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 meow 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 do 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 boo boo do do boo 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 concedes. Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna kill your Hierarch, play my Seal of Fire, crack you for 6, then we have 8. Yeah, fair enough. So ponderous mid-range deck gets stomped by a tempo deck. Not surprising. All of our tools for interacting with them just line up exceptionally well. We have cheap threats and disruption for their big payoff spells. Oh, I have played against this person recently. I believe they're on Etron. Etron picking up in popularity and should be a really fun matchup. Last time I played a Grixis Lurrus deck with Sprite Dragons, the matches against Etron were super duper fun. Okay, they're on Lurrus? Okay, so not Etron. We have no black mana, but we do have a Bauble. I'm going to keep this. It's not great, but it should be all right. We're going to Bauble them before we do anything else, because I don't need to play the Seal of Fire on turn 1. I almost definitely will, but like, mulls to 6. Yay! Oh, they're tanking. Mulls to 5. Mulls to 5! Let's just snap off a 5-0 without trying. Let's have fun. Winning is fun. I'm not doing a lot of experimenting in terms of deck construction with this one, as I didn't build it. This is from the wonderful Mohan Everett, Mogan Evart, the Aspiring Spike themselves. Blood Crypt on top. Okay, so probably the black-red burn deck. So let's just get the Seal of Fire into play in case of any Taylor Swift Spears. So what is the value in playing a deck like this when I'm already reasonably experienced at Modern? Well, I'm glad you asked. Learning the ins and outs of the format, learning the particular moment of time in which we are for Modern, is just generally speaking kind of a joy to me. I like experiencing the time. What time and place we're in right now, what decks are popular, how do they play, how do we play against them, etc., etc. So it looks like this could be Grixis Death Shadow, because they elected to fetch Shock there. Opponent also on all masterpieces here. I wonder if they intentionally bought these or they're just the result of their rental service. Yeah, Expeditions, that's what those ones are. Their deck is likely to be incredibly full of removal, but I'm still going to cycle this Unearth because I'm just trying to hit land drops for now. Yikes. And we definitely need to find black mana. That one, please. This is exactly what I wanted. Thank you. And decks like theirs are almost exactly what we're hoping to play against later on tonight with Turbo Red Prison. Sultai Shadow, or maybe 4-color? Thought Scour. Yep. Yeah, Sultai Shadow. Makes sense. Okay, so Drown, Archmage's Charm are both great in this matchup. Just A++. The fact that they haven't played any discards so far is also pretty great for us. And they are going to put themselves to low life total intentionally, which means there's going to be a bit of a dance in terms of trying to outmaneuver each other on their life total. Goif. Yikes. Okay, let's draw a land so I can flash back my drown. Because this was not a card. For some reason, I just blanked on the fact that Tarmogoyf is a card they're playing. It's not a land. Okay, and I don't have double black, so yep. Definitely in a little bit of trouble here. We will be able to use our life total as a bit of a resource here against Tarmogoyf, so that's always nice. We have 2 points of burn and Seal of Fire and 6 points in the Lightning Bolt because we have Snapcaster. So there's a chance we can still burn them out. We'll see. But if they are an experienced shadow player, they're likely to be aware. Bob? Sure. I guess it sort of ensures that I'm not pointing this at their head, but... they're likely holding on to something like Stubborn Denial in their hand. So I think I'm firing off the Snapcaster end of turn. I'm going to draw a card with Opt and attack him for 2 if they will let me. It's going to put a little bit of pressure on them in a couple different ways. Obviously, it does rob us of the ability to... yep, that's great. Rob us of the ability to snap Drown the Loch, but we should be able to find something else to deal with this Tarmogoyf, or just be able to put enough pressure on them that they don't feel like that's good enough anymore. Could fetch Shock for Lurrus here, let them crack me for 6. If I fetch Shock for Lurrus, it's probably to play the Seal of Fire. I guess I could just play the Bauble, draw an extra card. Actually seems reasonable. So I need black, so let's get the Blood Crypt. Do 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 do. We are the Sultans. We are the Sultans of Qing. In this case, the Qing is the card advantage. Cha-ching! Yeah, baby! Alright. What was on top? It was Unearth. Super. So they've got a 1-mana Death Shadow. Great. Or Bob. We have double Force, though. So if they attack, should pretty much be a match win for us. Okay, this is perfect. So I don't think I'm playing this Opt. Stub. So am I going to Force again? I think I am, because the Lurrus keeps rebuying me cards and is worth multiple life points per turn. I'm going to exile Mana Leak, because Archmage's Charm is a guaranteed counter, or it can draw 2 cards, or we can grab one of their Death Shadows with it. and we're already low enough that that mode is live. You can always use blue, blue, blue Archmage's Charm's third mode to gain control of target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 1 or less. So you can use that to kill a Death Shadow if your life total is 13 or higher. But if it's lower, then you actually get to keep the creature, which is pretty great. Do I want to bolt them here? It's mana efficient, but I don't think that I do. Cling is going to be great if they try to cast the Unearth. The question is, do I want to start whittling down their HP with this Seal of Fire? I don't think that I do. I think I'm happy to just draw extra cards here. And keep being aware of the top of their deck. So they've got Dismember coming up. Yikes. Actually, that'll put them so low that they're likely to die unless they pay full retail for it. And they pay full retail for it, we're going to crush them. So should be fine. We're just sitting here drawing 2 cards per turn. So there's a serious feeling of inevitability on my opponent's side of the table, I believe. They need to make a play or they're just going to get buried. And they can't attack because I'll just block with Snapcaster Mage and then have access to a Snap, which we'll get back. Drown in the Loch. Snapcaster and Lurrus are a match made in heaven for me. So instead of playing old school Grixis mid-range or control Corey Burkhart style or God's Shadow style, now we get to play aspiringspike style with Snapcaster Mages, which is just a delight. So you've got the slow... Interesting. So another hand is Unearth, and don't know any of the other cards. I think I want to snap off this Archmage's Charm, and I think we're going to leave Blood Crypt untapped. No, we're definitely leaving Blood Crypt untapped. It's the only thing that makes sense to untap. Oh, and it's also the only way I can cast this. All right, we're definitely going to fight over this. We should come out on top either way. Yep, that's fine. Yikes. Well, I hope I can kill him. So we have 5 points of damage ready to go. No. Did you just kill yourself? You did. Huh, interesting. So we go block here. Yeah, okay, we just won. They have 1 card in hand, which means they can't have a Force of Negation. So what we're going to do is we're going to end of turn bolt them. And then we're just going to play Snap Bolt on our turn using Lurrus to play the Snapcaster Mage. We can also play the Seal of Fire, so we've actually got overkill here. So they drew way too many threats because they have 2 Death Shadows in play, and we know the last card in their hand is an Unearth. So we drew the right balance of interaction and threats, but specifically our burn spells are worth a little bit more because they are putting themselves to such low life total on their own. All right, so we definitely want these Aether Gusts because they deal with our Tarmogoyfi friends. Oh yeah, Nihil Spellbomb seems great here. I don't know how much of the rest of this I want. I think the Cling to Dusts are fine. Maybe they're not. Engineered Explosives are also a good option, good-ish option. I think I can call this an attrition matchup. Can I? No. This is not an attrition matchup. This is a blisteringly fast matchup where small edges matter the most. So actually, I think Archmage's Charm just being a little chunky is probably not something we're super interested in. And cut. Definitely want the Unearths. Definitely want the... Do I want the Clings if I'm bringing in Nihil Spellbombs? Or do I even need the Spellbombs if I have the Clings? Back in 2 seconds. I'm going to think about it while I'm walking. All right, let's see. Am I happy with where I'm at on the sideboarding? Yeah, I think so. I guess against a deck that's playing Thought Scour, we might want these Nihil Spellbombs. Figure out what to cut here is a little tricky. Drown's good. Okay, so let's cut one Snap because it's kind of chonky and slow, and one Opt because we're going up on density of counters and interaction. So Opt does serve a useful role in this deck as in terms of something that is effective against the things our opponent is playing, but it also can be, what do I want to say? You can cut it because if you're bringing up the density of other effects, then drawing into them with the Opt is less important. Okay, 4 lands is a little clunky, but being able to recur our Lurrus with this Unearth makes me pretty happy to keep this. And they're going to come after our hand early and often, so... Actually, I think keeping this hand might be at odds with the way that I sideboarded. Generally speaking, I think my opponent's on the beatdown in this matchup, but... so they are the aggressor. We have more inevitability than they do. Yikes! Did not want to draw that. All right, so second Unearth. We have both the Unearths in our deck in our hand right now. So that's less than great. Bob? Brutality. Yep, resolves. I think we're losing Drown in the Loch. I'm not sure, but if I had to guess. Really? So they must have another piece of discard, I would assume. That's a pretty good pickup. I think I would rather have that in play than anywhere else. Is that true? No, they're likely to cast another discard spell. And if they don't, I want to be able to cycle one of these Unearths. Bob. Bob's fine. We're going to Seal of Fire that, so... And then we've got Seal of Fire going for Lurrus with multiple Unearths on the way, so... Do I want to cycle one? I think I want to cycle one of these. I think I'll just keep the other one, but... Nice. Sultans of Swing. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Ding-ding-ding-ding. Oh, shoot. I should not have let that. Yeah. Meant to kill that. I screwed up. So we let them have an extra card here. That was definitely not a good idea. And it was a Nihil Spellbomb, which can exile my Seal of Fire. Maximum punish. Shoot. That could be... They were going to draw that anyway, but... Giving them the extra card for 1 life loss is not where we want it to be. Sure. So I'm hoping what they do here is play the Nihil Spellbomb. Because then what we're going to do is drown it, and then on our turn we'll play Lurrus, Seal of Fire, kill their Bauble. They did not. Alright. They have black-green open here. I don't know what black... Oh, Veil of Summer. That's what that means. Yeah. Possibly Fatal Push to deal with my Lurrus if I kill their Dark Confidant. Which is interesting. So we'll just circumvent this entire fight by casting Lightning Bolt on the Bauble now. So Veil doesn't block this. If they have a Fatal Push, they won't have Revolt on my turn. So we can pretty safely play out our Lurrus on our turn. On my turn, I can play out my Lurrus and should be able to leverage that nicely here. Obviously, plenty can go wrong, but I think we're happy to do this. Steam events. Got black. I definitely want another blue source. I need 3. Yeah, let's just get a Steam Vents. Shock it. They could have Dismember here, which would kill my Lurrus. So. If they have Dismember into Nihil Spellbomb, we get beat up here. But otherwise, I think we're good. I suppose Trophy into Nihil Spellbomb would also be pretty good. But that will take their whole turn in terms of mana, so they should not be... Draw Step Stop. Do they have a Miracle? And if they do have a Miracle, what could it be? Also, just... Oh, I wonder what Japanese Miracle. Kaseki.
Miracle.
Yeah, I thought so. Green, blue. Goif. Hey, bud. You ain't here to party. Pick the wrong place. Pick the wrong Friday night. Okay. So we'll drown that, right? They can counter it with Nihil Spellbomb. Do I care? Is that okay? Pretty sure that's okay, right? But then I have Mana Leak up on their turn, so pretty safe. And they also don't get to draw cards. This is a 1-for-1 if they choose to go for it. So let's see. Be one of the first times I've seen that play made. They did not. I wonder if they know they can. So for clarity, if you activate Nihil Spellbomb to exile your own graveyard in response to someone's Drown in the Loch, unless your spell costs literally 0, it will resolve. Do I want to cast Seal of Fire here, or shoot them with Seal of Fire here? I don't need to, and I would rather have this Mana Leak up during their turn. They have Abrupt Decay specifically. They can get my Lurrus through it, but I think they would have done it that turn if they had it. They can now resolve a Death Shadow, although it will be... Oh no, it'll be a 6x. But then they'll be at 7, so they'll be in danger of dying to burn. So, if this is a discards Unearth. Right. Resolves. Can't do anything about that one. You gotta Goif. Death Shadow. Could Mana Leak that. Think I should. Boosh. Oh, right, the Veil of Summer that I called out earlier. I suddenly forgot about it, of course. So if I put them to 8 now, I think, yeah, so we're going to start doing this. We're going to hammer their life total a little bit. And, oh, there's still a Spellbomb to eat my Seal of Fire here. Let's see if they're on it. Doesn't seem like it. Interesting. interesting. So they can make their Goyf into a 5/6 by putting the Spellbomb into their graveyard, I believe. This has to be a discard spell, right? Nope. More bad? Bad. Mr. Dark Confidant Bob Marr Jr. Is it? Demir? Golgari? Collective Brutality. Yeah. I can leave up black-blue here. Yeah. Not that it matters, but could matter. Force of Negation. Get out of here. Yeah, I'll take 5. Second spell on. Yikes. Okay, so if I put them to 6 and then... Well. Still no Sprite Dragons here. Alright, well, let's thin the maximum amount. So we're going to go get an island, because I would like as much untapped mana as possible. Cast my Opt. That's a good one. So they weren't on it last turn. Let's see if they are this turn. Yeah. Not entirely sure why they didn't do that last turn, but... So as they're on 0 cards in hand, it's fairly likely that I'm going to cycle this Unearth and see what I can hit. If I hit a Bolt, they die on the spot. If I hit Seal of Fire, we're going to get close. So I did not play correctly if Seal of Fire was my out there. So we've got the Bolt in hand again. So if we draw a Sprite Dragon, it is 5 damage effectively, so that would be great. Okay, looks like we're going to 1 hit to death here. If they have Teamer Battle Rage, we're just going to die on the spot. Let's see what's up. Okay. So we got plenty of outs here. That's not one of them. Okay, looking for unforced errors from our opponent. We've hit seven of our 19 lands. 7, 8, 9. 9 of our 19 lands and 0 Mishra's Baubles. Yikes. So if they attack with both here, we have to block 1. We'll block the Death Shadow. Just because it's slightly more damage. And then we can still top deck a win. We have put ourselves in the best possible position to try to draw out of this. Just attacks with the Death Shadow, that's fair. Still have not seen a Sprite Dragon out of us, so not surprising. Go to 10, which is not significant if they can just kill us. Oh, they're cracking the Spellbomb to exile the Lurrus. That's fine. We don't have any. We don't have any Unearths left anyway. So we do have Snapcasters, Sprite Dragons. So there's a lot of outs left in our deck. Let's draw one right here. Right there. Okay. Pass the turn back. Maximize the odds a little bit of maybe getting out of this one. But it seems unlikely. Just going to combat. No. Play spells. Dismember your Death Shadow. Go to 1. Style on me. It's totally safe, dude. Dudette. Dude they. Dude bot. Damn. Okay, so... We did take out a Snapcaster. That seems like an error. I don't know if taking out all of our Archmage's Charm was correct. It felt correct. I still think it is, but maybe not. I'm trying to count the number of 2 CMC spells that I saw. There's Bobs and Tarmogoyfs. Assassin's Trophies. I don't know if they let those in, but we did bring in the Nihil Spellbombs. We just didn't draw any. So I think we just need to draw better on this next game, because otherwise I think we had all the tools we needed. Aether Gust off the top also could have killed them there. Yeah, so we had like infinite outs. We just didn't draw anything. Engineered Explosives, Drown in the Loch, Sprite Dragon, Aether Gust. Yeah. Okay. Dude. Yeah. The only possible downside of this hand that I can see is if they've got turn 1 discard, but even then we're pretty well set up, so. They did finally get to keep a 7, so. Not feeling great about the ability to get through this game, but perhaps. I do want to get Blood Crypt with this Polluted Delta, and then play Darkslick. Yeah. We need another black, and I want 2 red by turn 3. Stop, 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 stop. Gosh darn it. We dodged so many discard spells this match, and then this time they have it. They've got their best hand so far, because they actually had turn 1 discard as well as a Mishra's Bauble. It will. Really? Huh. So I think that means they must have a removal spell or something to whack my graveyard. Or they're just not thinking that hard about the next couple of turns. We'll see. That's a good pickup. Sprite Dragon. Mishra's Bauble. Drawing a shadow already. Well, luckily it's a little early for that to be useful. Let me get this over here so I can use it whenever I want. Holy crap. Bauble in Japanese is crazy. Yasu mono hoseki. Yasu mono no hoseki. That's crazy. That's. Some people think that French gets like gratuitously long. The words get gratuitously long when you put things into French. Double Watery Grave. Okay. And a 2/2 shadow? Good lord. Yeah, I mean, you got it. Okay, so we'll play our fast land first. Unearth Mud Dragon. Yeah. I'm going to bonk them for 1. Bonk. And hopefully they don't just choose to snap off their Lurrus this turn. They could. Please play a Tarmogoyf. Not a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize would be really, really bad for me. I cannot do anything about a Thoughtseize. Okay. Reconsiders. Okay. That's a hefty lad. Well, I suppose I know why they were afraid of my engineered explosives now. I think I just got to play out the Snapcaster as a 2-power creature. Because otherwise I may just not ever have the chance to cast this. Just in terms of mana. One of the things about the Death Shadow deck is so mana efficient. So the question is, do I want to play my Engineered Explosives for 1 this turn with no ability to trigger it? I also have the shock to do that. Do I think that I can resolve my Lurrus and then... Well, I don't have to decide what to do with my land until I cast the Lurrus, so let's see if this is even going to resolve. I assume not. Okay. I think the Bauble is fine this turn. We'll just play a tap land and hope we get to play the explosives next turn. Plus I get to chump block with Snapcaster Mage. We're going to give them 2 7/7s. Maybe I don't want to do that. They have Thoughtseize on top. Thoughtseize on top doesn't really bother me right now. I'm about to draw another card, but that doesn't mean they're going to have 2 7/7s. So let's just leave my Sprite Dragon back so that I'm not forced into any ugly blocks here. Cycles Veil of Summer. That's nice. Okay, so they draw their Thoughtseize. Spellbomb is fine. Goyf? Sure. Yep. They only have 1 mana left. So if they attack with both shadows, we're going to chump block with Snapcaster, and we're going to be able to play Snap, Aether Gust their Goyf, and kill them. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We should be able to kill them there, depending on what the last card in their hand is, which obviously could mess that up. So just got to say a little prayer here, I guess, because if everything goes according to plan, we'll be fine. And if it doesn't, we are all kinds of dead. So the last card in their hand is super relevant. Grab the Aether Gust. Gust that Goyf. Veil does not stop this. So that's game win for us. What? Oh, it does stop it. Huh. It doesn't stop it if it's a spell. It stops it if it's a permanent. Interesting. Okay, well, we're not dead. They have 1 card in hand. Here's my Nihil Spellbomb. If I remove their graveyard, their Tarmogoyf becomes a... How small? 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Not small enough for it to matter. So I think we're just sitting back and hoping that Sprite Dragon gets me through the next turn. If I remove their graveyard during combat, the Sprite Dragon can eat the Tarmogoyf, and then, alright. They get 2 cards here, but they have some blanks in their deck thanks to Nihil Spellbomb. So, just the only question is, can I attack here at all? I'll put them to 2, but they have no red sources in play, so if they draw a Teamer Battle Rage, then they're up a creek on that. Putting them to 2 gives them 2 11/11s, so I'll have to block those, and we'll go to 4 against the Tarmogoyf. We're guaranteed able to kill them next turn. I think we just pass here. So if they have any removal, we're toast. We're not actually dead, but we'll be dead fairly quickly. Goes to combat. Okay. Block, block, block. Spellbomb you. If they have an instant, they can make the Goyf big enough that it will beat my dragon. So we were already in the boat of hoping that they don't have any instants. So I will say it's been a very interesting game. Nice. Okay. So we got a lot of top decks that win here. Again. That does not beat me. Another threat. Oh no. Okay. So still plenty of top decks to win us the game here. That's not one of them. We're so close. But we just can't get there. Alright, well. Fought hard, but they drew the right balance of things. And we could not find a bolt or a sealed fire to save our lives this game. Oh, that Veil of Summer was very good. Veil of Summer is an excellent, excellent card in those kind of matchups. It's so mana efficient, 2 for 1. All right. Heading into match number 3 here. Yikes. Actually, no, this one's fine. We've got an Opt, we've got a Bauble, we've got double Sprite Dragon. Would be great to be guaranteed that we have our second land drop, but I think we'll get there. Nihil Sentinel. Okay. Well, I hope I draw a Seal of Fire. Okay. Some kind of elf deck with no Lurrus. Crazy. Cavern of Souls on top. Well, Remember that thing I was talking about that I wanted here? I think I might have gotten it. Okay. Take my 2. Cavern. You got it. Yikes. Well, that's gonna get wide fast. Okay, here's 3 power. And I'm about to fetch shock myself down to 15. Well, there's a second land I wanted. So that's something. Force of Negation probably doesn't have a lot of text in this matchup. I wonder if I'm supposed to play Sprite Dragon, play... Oh, I cycled my Bauble. Of course I did, because I needed to try to draw the next card. Okay. Well, we're definitely under a lot of early pressure here. So, with these creatures in play, they're largely the same, but we're going to go after the Nihil Sentinel here. Let's see if we get blown out by some kind of combat trick. No. Okay, so no pump or anything like that here. Okay. Well, we might just be dead to a bunch of green dorks. Yikes. Little green men coming after me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's... Yikes. Yeah, we just can't keep up with that. Okay. Got well run over with a hand that was prepared for completely the wrong deck. So hopefully boarding into nothing but removal will help us out here. So I think most of our counter magic should just go right the heck out. Explosives seem great. Seal of Fire seems great. Aether Gust seems great. That's probably the long and short. No, Spell Snare. Probably don't want Spell Snare. Let's take Collective Brutality. It's not great here, but it's probably fine. Maybe board out 1 Cling to Dust for the last one. Cling is probably not particularly good here. And then Drown the Loch is just a kill spell as well. So good to go with this one. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Would I like to play first? Yes, please. Here's my kitty cat. Meow. Another one-lander. Yeah, I'm not going to do that again. Much better. Get to bottom one of these lands. Wonderful privilege. That one seems fine. Okay. Steam Vents, Blood Crypt, Watery Grave. Yeah, okay. It's not the best hand, but I'll take it. Yep. Top deck, Seal of Fire. Top deck, Seal of Fire. That'll do. Thank you, deck. Well, I guess I know my turn 3 play. Engineered Explosives, pop Engineered Explosives. And this is probably getting another Watery Grave, which will give me access to triple blue, double black, and a red. The only time this deck needs double red is for Snap Bolt, Bolt Snap Bolt. Elvish Mystic, Heritage Druid, all the 1-drops. Just give them all. Give me all the 1-drops. Just yep. Now they could play something like Elvish Archmage here with the 3, but we're still going to wipe out. Yeah, Archdruid. Sorry, but that's fine because we're just going to wipe all of them out with the Engineered Explosives. Trigger. Oh, I don't know. Guess I'll take my 3 for 1. Smash. Sprite Dragon. Do 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 do. Sprite Dragon. Okay. They could probably play out the rest of their hand, so we will see. Another Archdruid. Yep. Do I want another red mana here? Not at the cost of 2 life. So I definitely want to play this Engineered Explosives this turn, so I'm just going to play it out on 1 just to trigger the Sprite Dragon. So now I've got 2 3-power blockers. I'm pretty happy to block with both of them because then next turn I can play Unearth on my Lurrus and then replay the Sprite Dragon. So I'm way happier to make the trade if they swing with both their creatures. Now, if they have another Lord effect, we'll group block one of them, probably. But we'll see how this turn turns out. They have access to 7 mana here, which is pretty nuts. I wonder if they're playing Craterhoof Behemoth, because if they are, they're going to wreck me here. Woof. Okay. So play this guy out. So if they have Collected Company, we can counter that. If they do not, we'll get to Archmage's Charm to draw to, so I think I'm pretty happy to sit, and it's also going to make my Sprite Dragon into a 4/4, which will eat one of their Archdruids, so it's a good chance we're about to see a Collected Company here. Yeah. Do they have Veil of Summer? Don't know if I can beat it if they do anyway. Looks like not. Nope. Okay, good. Because it's very efficient.
The weather.
Damn it. YouTube autoplay. Shaman of the Pack. Yikes. Alright. I guess I'm taking 3. Man, Engineered Explosives on 3 is looking more and more appealing. Kill my Lurrus. Actually, it really is. Huh. Uh-oh. Scoos. Oh, no. Yikes. We are getting put in a little box here by my Elves opponent. Sprite Dragon. Yo, we're playing all the Sprite Dragons, Roy. Doofus. Good for you. I'm glad you show up now and say, hey, Doofus. Double Collective Brutality. I guess I'll take it. How many creatures are in grave? Shoot. There's enough creatures in graveyards, they can just boost their Scavenging Ooze through that. Well, that's not the best. I think we're just done. I think it's my favorite fairy too, Roy. I think my opponent has put me in a little box, and I think we are dead. Don't think there's any way out here. Not your favorite dragon, though. That's fair. I don't know what my favorite dragon in Magic is. I'm trying to think of a playable dragon. Oh, Nicol Bolas the Ravager. I don't really think of him as a dragon, but... Yes. Yes, I do like Sprite Dragon more than those. Because it has +1/+1 counters, and it's blue and red. Which are probably my favorite colors together. I think we're just toast here. Sorry, I'm in the grieving process. I suppose what I can do is swing with Lurrus, which will put me to 11, and then I can replay it using Unearth. If we're going to do that... Actually, we might be able to kill them that way. All right. So let's drain them for 2. Puts me to 10. If I do that again, it puts me to 12, makes my Sprite Dragon a 6/6. Attack them for 6. She'll put them to 10. Plus the Lurrus, plus the... So I put myself to 13, 14, 15. That puts the... Okay, so yeah, I think we're all in on just trying to kill him. So, Godspeed, little doodle. Oh, I can't attack them and bring it back with my Unearth because they'll just eat it with the Scoos. So that's fine. This is just going to have to be good enough. So I've got a 6/6 dragon. And maybe it can kill them next turn. Otherwise, we're in big trouble. So they can make their Scoos into a 5/5. Which will also put them to 10. We're going to block one of their 5-power creatures with our Lurrus. Then we'll go to, we're going to take 11 and gain 3. Go to 13 for, no. Go to 4. Yeah, I think. Yeah. The Elves deck just completely ate us. We have no real defense against this. The only way we could have done is if we had like a perfect sequence of like Seal of Fire into Lightning Bolt into the Lurrus and then just recurred the Seal of Fire repeatedly to beat back all their creatures, but that didn't work out. So currently we're on the rip a bolt or lose the game plan. We do have 2 shots at it here, so although they can gain 1 life. When did we find out they were on elves? When they played their elves on turn 1 in game 1. And then promptly killed me. Because they played Nettle Sentinel into... shoot. The 1 life they can gain off of Scoos means even if the bolt is on top, I can't do this. No, okay. So we just lost. They went turn 1 Nettle Sentinel on the play in game 1 and they killed us. They went turn 1 Nettle Sentinel, turn 2 Dwinnen's Elite, and they had 5 power in play. And we just got crushed. Absolutely stomped. Match 2 was against 4-color Shadow. That was a very tight one. They managed to pull it out with Veil of Summer in both game 2 and 3 with a single Veil of Summer. Made the difference in both games. No, we just ban those, Roy. Just ban them. That's a bot for sure. Anywho, yeah. So first one we just housed a weird like Bant Urian deck. It's a pity, which I'm grateful for, that Lurrus can't play EE without assistance. What? What do you mean? I needed to do that in that game. I think there was a turn where I could have cracked my EE on 1 to kill nothing and played it out on 3 and not been able to use it. But if I had done that, I think I could have won that game. So, or do you mean Lurrus because we couldn't set it to 3? Oh, you're right. Huh. So I couldn't do that anyway. Yeah. If I had actually thought about it, then I would be able to tell you that that's 100% true. It's funny. As a player, I am nowhere near as rules accurate as a judge as I am as a judge. Because if you ask me the judge question, it's like, hey, can you do this? I'd be like, of course you can't. Nope, you cannot do that. But as a player, I'll be like, that's a line that can save me. Okay. So we're on the draw here. Hand is pretty rough. We are against a Urian deck. I could try to get away with that, but having 0 threats is bad. This one is much better. Throw back one of these fetches. Yep. So we'll go turn 1 shock land into fast land, and hopefully this will be alrighty. Yeah, you can do that against Death and Taxes, and you can do that if you play it from your hand. obviously, but what you got to do is play the Lurrus Thalia deck. Sounds like a terrifying deck. I mean, it's just the Lurrus Ice 9 deck, right? But with a different set of cards. I think the Lurrus Ice 9 deck could easily have Thalia in it. I just haven't wanted to make that leap. It's like playing Leonin Arbiter with Stoneforge Mystic. Like, people do it, and they just do it, and it's fine. Opponent is really tanking on their Arkham Astrolabe trigger. There we go. Not sure what all that was. Okay, so we're going to play Spirebluff instead of a tap land, and we're going to save our Mishra's Bauble for after we play the Sprite Dragon. Speaking of which, Roy, I was pointing it out to an audience of no one earlier, but I think saying Mishra is like if you were to pronounce it as Urza. Just sounds wrong to my ear as a native English speaker, North American native English speaker, which obviously is pretty specific, but I think it's just one of those things. It's like that's not how we would say that. That's not how an American or an English speaker would say that, I'm pretty sure. Mishra sounds lewd to me. How? I mean, I guess there's no clear explanation for it. So if they have Ice Fang Quaddle here, it's not going to have Death Touch. Sounds weirdly aggressive too. Mishra? I mean, it sounds about as aggressive as Urza. It isn't, it just sounds like it to me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. That's a pretty subjective measurement, right? Objective measurement? Objective measurement. Yeah, it's a pretty objective measurement, I mean. No, subjective. Subjective. That's the one. Oh, no. Oh, so efficient. I'm so upset. Oh, my opponent's turn was so efficient. Yikes. Okay, so this looks like the Wilderness Reclamation deck, which could be bad for us. Ice Fang on top, jeez. Okay. Snap is not the greatest thing in the world here, but I'll take it. Here's my Sprite Dragon. Okay. Oh, come on. Ah, again? Boo, hiss. No. Their deck is so good. No. Mystic Sanctuary, Archmage's Charm. Stop. I've had enough. I've had enough. Jeez. All right. Sure. Happy to answer deck building questions to the best of my ability. Obviously, I'm not any kind of authority, so just your friendly neighborhood mana symbol. What? All right. In this deck? Or in the modern meta in general? I guess that's what you framed your question as, so. Yeah, Growth Spiral's fine here, actually. Yeah, yes, 100%. Oh, in this deck, in modern? I don't think Dive Down. I do think Spell Pierce. I think you could play Spell Pierce in a deck like this. I don't think Dive Down. I think Dive Down's a little too narrow. But then again, we are playing things like Spell Snare, so I don't like that's not a that's not a 100% in any direction. Like they just Mystic Sanctuaried a Growth Spiral. It's a bold move. Do I play a Snapcaster as a 7-turn clock? Yeah, I think so. Because otherwise we're not doing anything. I have Spell Snare for their next Ice Fang Quaddle. And or Mana Leak for something. Okay. So the problem I have right here is that if Archmage's Charm. I just wanted to have the Archmage's Charm in the future for situations like them casting Urian, because they're going to be on 8 mana in a second here, and I can't beat the Urian basically at all right now. So, because I knew they had this in their hand. I think I'm supposed to Archmage's Charm this. The problem is that I'm tapped down for the next turn if they play the Urian, which I guess we get to fire back with Lurrus maybe. So we're in a really tough spot here. Like they've just gone up on enough cards that this is going to be tricky one way or the other. Okay, they have another Archmage's Charm or Force of Negation here. Yeah. We're just generally in trouble in this game. I don't know about in this matchup. Like, we could be fine in this matchup, but they just had double Fatal Push in the early game in their 80-card deck, and they get there if they do that. If this is Urian, I'm in huge trouble. I can't do anything about it, so we're just going to have to fire back by playing Lurrus. Luckily, it's only drawing them one card, but, I mean, they're already at a huge advantage. They've gone up cards twice with this one Archmage's Charm. Definitely one of the things that's nice about playing those 80-card decks is that though they are playing 80 cards, they can increase their number of fetch lands such that the fact that they have less Archmage's Charms doesn't matter. As long as they draw one, it's effectively multiple. Okay. Resets Archmage's Charm? Okay. Remand. Your index are incredibly grindy indeed. Yeah, they definitely are. They reset their Archmage's Charm instead of their Fatal Push, which is like a bit of hubris. Unless, of course, they have another Fatal Push in their hand. Or the ability to get to another Mystic Sanctuary. They look grindier than Jund. The way in which the blue mid-range decks are grindy is very different from Jund, but it's similar. Jund is grindy in a low resource situation where they put both players on low resources and then just keep them there. And then they have a lot of 2-for-1s off the top. The blue decks play a lot of 2-for-1s over the course of the game. And they tend to 2-for-1 you over and over and over again until they have 7 cards in hand and you have 0. Yeah, Jund is more of a 1-for-1 as a 2-for-1. Well, so is the blue deck. It's just the blue deck isn't the blue deck isn't playing any like 0-for-2s like Liliana Plus of that things of that nature. I think this has to mean that they're gonna play a Nexus of Fate this turn. Which if they do, we're gonna force it. Maybe not. Fatal Push on top, sure. Cycles Triome, sure. Yeah. So if this does not resolve, we're in trubs. Which it's unlikely to. I think they reset an Archmage's Charm earlier. Yep. So we're behind on most conceivable metrics. However, we can pull from behind and win this one because we have burn spells in our deck. Let's see what this finds me. Wow! Oh, I flooded so many times on this deck today. Against Death Shadow, in one of the games, we had like 14 of our 19 lands out. It was not a good scene. Okay. Flusterstorm, Aether Gust, Stroke, maybe Brutality. Nihil Spellbomb seems good. Yeah. I think some number of bolts could go out. Not all of them, but most. Actually, probably all of them, because I think I would rather have Seal of Fires against Icefang Quaddle deck. Cut some number of opt. Spell Snare is great. Cling to Dust is like, it's okay. And then maybe we want Mana Leak out, because we're bringing in Flusters and Aether Gust. Is EE worth it? I don't think so. What do you want to EE out of their deck? Oh, yeah. No, I don't think so. I think killing their Abundant Growth or their Mishra's, their Arkham's Astrolabes is not really where we want to be. This is one of those things where I wonder, like, with this deck against that deck, am I just supposed to do like this? I think maybe I am. Just try to get him dead. This puts the maximum amount of pressure on, allowing us to leverage the sort of the part that makes our deck good. And to that extent, I think definitely the more aggressive deck. No, I understand that. It's just like when you're playing a tempo deck, like all we need to do, it's not annoying in terms of the only annoying thing here is I'm not smart enough to know exactly what the answer is of like how much do we lean into aggression versus control here, because you know, if you're playing mono red, you have a pretty clear idea of wanting to just lean hard into the I need to kill them early as fast as possible. But this deck doesn't really play like that. This deck is like, okay, we want to stick one Sprite Dragon and kill and just ride that to victory. And so the fact that we can be a grindy deck just sometimes tricks me into setting up my game in a way that is not productive to what the deck needs to be doing. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm playing this Snapcaster at the end of their turn, Which, if I'm doing that, I think I just might as well play it now. Was Gust a key factor in your decision to keep this hand? No. The decision to keep this hand was I saw 2 lands and playable spells, and I thought it was good enough, and it might not be. Because Snapcaster is a much, 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 much less good threat than Sprite Dragon, even though I read 2 CMC on this card. Trying to figure out what this is for blue-black. Brutality? Did they just triple? No, they doubled. Oh, they discarded Teachings. That is so sick. Okay, I'm going to discard Aether Gust here. Surprised you didn't include Spell Stutter Sprite in this list. I envy OP. I mean, we did fine on that exchange. Oh, you mean their deck? Yeah, yeah. That deck is definitely something I'm all about. We might be playing it next week. We're probably playing it next week. We might play it tomorrow. I don't have anything on the slate for tomorrow yet, so. Do I drown this? I want to drown this, but it's not killing my Snapcaster Mage. It does put a 3rd card in their graveyard, so I'm going to drown that. Let's not get punished. Let's not get punished. I drown. Yeah, I got it. It's just if they have Ice Fang. Well, Ice Fang right now is not that bad. Okay. Jam. Jamming it. Jams it in. Alright, don't Ice Fang me, human. I don't want to be 2 for 1. God bless it. Yep, yep. Okay. I love that card. They are not putting that on top, right? They did? Wild. Oh, they've got Wilderness Wreck? Yikes. Yeah, I guess this is the game I signed up to play. Okay. Oh my god. Everything here. Yeah, exactly. Just getting 2-0'd here. Just absolutely housed. And we were 1 card off of being able to drown it. Which, like, obviously didn't really matter, but, like, jeez. And here's our 3rd land. And it's, I believe, the only other basic island in the deck. Which means we're not going to be able to play Lurrus on our turn, even if we wanted to try to start getting grindy. And Growth Spiral is not normally all that powerful, unless you have a Wilderness Reclamation in play. Then all of a sudden it's basically free. That said, I'm really glad that their deck exists in Modern. It's just like blue-green control with a splash of black for reasonable removal. Because obviously it's not super fun to lose to here, but it's not their deck I find exasperating. No, I'm not, and I didn't say that you did. Deal with that fucking bird servant, yeah. Oh, right, they're gonna Wilderness Reclamation this turn, so we don't actually have any... we don't have a window here at all. I mean, I have a tiny window to bolt them, but, like... This isn't like, okay, on my turn they're gonna be tapped down, we can really try to hammer them and kill them. Okay, well, that was one of the best possible pickups. So, we do have blue, black, and red available here. We haven't seen another Icefang Quaddle. We haven't seen an Uro yet, so mentally I'm still in this game. Let's see how much that proves to be true. Yeah, I think we're good here. They got 4 more cards in hand. They've got 1,000,000 resources, and they still have their Urian ready to go. We can't leverage our Lurrus because they just have such an overwhelming advantage. It's like just no good, which is fine. You get beat up. We got beat up by elves. That was a rough one. Ooze OP. Yeah, I mean, it definitely, yeah. I mean, Ooze is like definitely very, very fair. All right, we got Spell Snare. We got everything we need. Come on, opponent. Be on like ad nauseum. Yeah! Okay. This is a deck we can beat. I've been beating ad nauseum all month. Beating them like a drum. Ad nauseum and Neobrand, man. Just cannot lose against those decks. Feels like that is not what I wanted. Okay. Yep. Blue red. Go ahead. Hopefully they play Pentad Prism this turn. We get to Spell Snare it. Pentad Prism. Yeah, you kept the hand that had all your good cards. Degen Punisher. Well, I mean, I like Ad Nauseum, and not just because Chris Flink is my friend. Punisher of Degens. There you go. That's much more Kamigawa. Kamigawa has the best legend names. Don't at me. Yomishi, who bars the way. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, no kidding. It's 7 mana. The real question is, does it have sweet art? Okay, if this is a Phyrexian Unlife, yeah, okay. That's more problematic for this deck than it is for some of the other decks in this style that I have played. Because we don't have Cryptic Command. It's symmetrical. Art's so-so. I love that that's 7 mana for a symmetrical effect. I love that. That's fantastic. Like, what even is Magic anymore? And I say anymore, I mean that's a Kamigawa card, so that's been around forever. Okay, so we are at the stage in the game where our opponent can kill us at instant speed. So tapping off of our Archmage's Charm is a bad idea. But I am going to fetch here, grab a Blood Crypt, and in the words of the great Teferi Time Raveler and Teferi Hero of Dominaria, we're going to pick up the pace just by boosting our Sprite Dragon by 1. It's not like breakneck speed over here, but... Remember that mill deck we played last night? That was sweet. Why am I not still playing the mill deck? It's cool. We're just going to jam a bunch of Mono Red Prison in a minute, so... Tonight we're playing Rabble Masters. So it was a one-night stand. Roy? Not a 2-night commitment. I was just flirting with Mill. Mill doesn't want to be tied down. Okay, do we finally tap off of Archmage's Charm for a half second here? I think we do, because it's on their turn. I've got the Force of Negation as backup, and this significantly increases my clock, so... we get to force here if... yeah, looks like they're not going to go for it. Roy, this deck makes me want to play bad Grixis cards again. Just piles of Grixis sadness. I don't want to go down this road. See you in a second, friend. Second Phyrexian Unlife, I wonder. Must be? Pet Prism? Just got color. Gotta be Phyrexian Unlife. Simian Spirit Guide. Always a sign of strength. Also not particularly relevant here. So we're going to use Archmage's Charm to draw 2. Since we still have Force of Negation and this is on their turn. Again, they can ad nauseum right now, so we need to carefully keep this Force of Negation ready to go. All right, what do you got, friend? Shisha? Sick. Second Sprite Dragon. Might be good for next turn. Doesn't hurt now. Donk. All right. So this turn is all about putting them down to 0. So just buying time. Has split seconds. There's nothing I can do about that. So they're just going to go to 1 here, which is fine. So I think I want to play out my Lurrus and start my card draw. We have Force and Charm as backup here, so... and they're down to 1 card in hand. It is possible what they're waiting for is double Adnaz. So, and we should be able to bury them in cards here. I mean, from this point on, we can just hold up double counter magic every turn. I've got more than enough threats in play. They're drawing a Gemstone Mine. Yikes. Sorry, opponent, but it looks like I gotcha. Do-do-do-do. Boo-do-do-do-do. Boo-do-do-do-do. Boo-do-do-do. Bee-bee-do-do-boo-do-do-do. Boo-do-do-do-do. Boo-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Heard about your relapse. I just want you to know you have friends who care about you. It's an intervention. against playing Grixis cards. Grixis Sadness. I started off with just cryptic commands, but then I moved on to the hard stuff. Delvers and Thoughtseizes, you know? Alright, here's my tap land. So... Oh, I could have just played the second Sprite Dragon. That would have made that 10 poison. What are they drawing? Do I care? Fastest Oracle. Yeah, that's not going to do it. Unless the other card in their hand is Spoils of the Vault, but we can counter one of the two. So we be fine. So. Hey Roy, I think I've got more Magic Online wins with poison counters than you do. I love measuring meaningless metrics. Oh, I could have just attacked with all my creatures and killed them there, huh? Spoils. Infinitely more. Wait. They have 0 cards in hand? Alright, let's just kill him. Hello. Lightning Bolt. There we go. Infinitely more. Super genius. Wile E. Coyote. Super genius. Yes, I like the ring to that. Wile E. Coyote. Super genius. Flusterstorm seems pretty good against them, generally. Can beat a Spoils of the Vault with it. In terms of what we do not need, I don't think we need any Lightning Bolts. Obviously, they translated into being a pretty good clock there, but Engineer Explosives should do that job just fine, and we definitely don't need Unearth. And we also don't need Cling to Dust. They don't play out of their graveyard at all. So out of the options that I have, I think probably the Seal of Fires are the best. No, probably Lightning Bolt. Not only is it 1 more damage, but it functions with Snapcaster Mage really nicely, rather than Lurrus. Lurrus is a reasonable sized commitment against their deck. Zachary M. Ryle. Super genius. Yes, I quite like the sound of that. Do you know who Mel Blanc is, Roy? Mel Blanc? Sideboard Lurrus. I've heard of Mel Blanc. Yeah, he provided basically every single voice for all of the Looney Tunes. He's Sylvester, Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, Wile E. Coyote. He is what's his name? Yeah, basically Porky Pig. Yeah, he's everyone. He's literally everyone. The only one he isn't is like Granny. I think Granny. I think he's Tweety Bird though. Yosemite Sam, Foghorn Leghorn, like he just literally all of them. It's completely bonkers. He's the one man. Yeah, Yosemite Sam. Oh, Tarnation. I was since I watch the occasional Yosemite, yeah. Because you would have thought it was Yosemite. When I was a kid, I would have done the same. I mean, I thought it was Yosemite before I heard Yosemite or Yosemite. So this is Pentad Prism. This game, I do not have a counter for it. Unless I opt into a Force of Negation. I did not, but Manlink is happy to have that. Marmite and Vegemite. Yeah. Are those eaten by Tamil people? I think Yosemite would lead to the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it could have done. Okay, so they could have 5 mana next turn. Nice call on the Flusterstorm. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think so. Marmite's strangely popular. I think I just want to slam this Sprite Dragon and try to ride it. One of the things I want to look out for in this matchup is when they're just going to grip it and rip it and try to combo, and when they can do so with Veil backup. So they're going to have 5 mana next turn, which is not quite enough to go off with just Ad Nauseam, but they did keep their 7. I don't want to Brutality them because they could have Veil of Summer. If they have the 4 mana kill, which is Angel's Grace, Thassa's Oracle, Spoils of the Vault, then they could also sneak a Veil of Summer into that hand. So I can't beat that hand no matter what. I guess by sitting and waiting, though, I give myself the ability to interact slightly more. And more, I can go next turn Sprite Dragon into Flusterstorm on their turn. So hopefully they don't have the perfect hand, because I think Flusterstorm's amazing in a Veil Pact format, Chalice Pact. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not. The one thing I would say is, like, Flusterstorm's really not. It should never be in your deck against a Chalice deck, right? Unless your opponent boarded their Chalices. I would say. Why? Why would you? Most of the Chalice decks don't play a lot of instants and sorceries, right? I mean, the only real Chalice deck is Etron. Other than the nonsense that I play. Another Pentad Prism. Yeah, we're going to try to Mana Leak this. If we get Veiled on this, we should be okay. Like, I'm not saying 100%, I'm just saying most of the decks that play Chalice, you're not going to be really excited to resolve your Flusterstorm against them. So this, if there's a, yeah, okay, so this is Veil of Summer. As predicted, as soon as Ad Nauseam has green mana available, as long as they have 1 card in hand, it will be Veil of Summer. Now, do they get to style on me here where they combo after the Veil? No, they only needed Angel's Grace, which is 1, Thassa's Oracle, which is 2, and Spoils of the Vault, which is 3. Yeah, that's the line I'm concerned about right now. Not Ad Nauseam Angel's Grace, because that costs 6. Yeah, they kept a hand that didn't have any Lotus Blooms, so I'm assuming they must have a good chunk of the alternate win. Now, it's possible that the reason, like, we're looking at them with 6 mana now. So it's possible the reason that we got to this point is because they have Ad Nauseam and Angel's Grace, which is why we're going to Brutality them here with Flusterstorm backup. Second Veil would be a bit of a tilt. Ding, 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 ding. Tilt. Wonder if this tank means that they have it. And if they have the Veil, Do we Flusterstorm it for 3, forcing them to use all of their mana? They have quite the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're going to play Sphinx of the Final Word next turn? That's a yikes. Okay. I guess we know what we're up against. Woo. And they don't even have to use the Spirit Guide for it. But they will. Huh, okay. What? Friendo. Oh, I guess they get to keep their gemstone mine. Fair enough. It's templated like worship. What part of it? I'm not sure I understand. Okay, so I can get Steam Vents here because I already have double black. Don't really want more. The drain effect versus damage. Okay, so we've got to outrace a 5/5. Which we can do. Opt is a great way to start. By outrace, what I really mean is I need to get my Sprite Dragon into the size of 6/6. So, you've got to get in the best shape of your life, baby. Push it to the limit. Limit. Walk along the razor's edge. Don't look back, just keep your head until you win it. So we don't know anything about any of the cards in here. Scalding Tarn is alright. Okay, now we're cooking with propane. So we're gonna play Sprite Dragon, Brutality, their face. We're sort of in a clench situation anyway, so I'm just gonna drain them here. They've literally 0 cards in hand, so if they top deck the win here, I couldn't counter it anyway because of Sphinx, assuming that they top deck a Spoils or a... Well, Spoils doesn't win them the game here. Does it? No, they don't have enough mana. Ad Nauseam will win them the game off the top, but... And then actually next turn I can just hold back both my Sprite Dragons. So... They played out the Spirit Guide. That's funny. What is up, Zanny Manny? You straight chillin', dog? You're alive. What do you mean he's alive? Are you trying to tell me he died at some... Starting the stream. Right on, dog. Take all those viewers that I don't have. Did 12 hours. Good lord. What time were you up until? Like 4 a.m.? Nine a.m.? Good lord. Oh, right, because you started late, like you are about to do. You crazy kids. Your infinite energy. When were you up until with him, Roy? The whole 9? The whole 9 a.m.? Good man. Basically. So we have no... I went out for a run. When did you go for a run? Like the middle of the night? So if I attack with this Sprite Dragon, I'm pretty sure they really can't block me with the Sphinx. I mean, they could, but I would be happy for them to do so. So let's see what happens here. I think you missed /S, Roy. Oh no, it's the end of the world as we know it. Am I gonna snap opt here? They didn't win the game last time I did this, so I'm assuming they're not going to do it again here. So let's draw. They black bordered their HOU lands. I know, gross. Gross. It's amazing how people will deface beautiful art. For what? And for what? I feel like that one speech by Mo is so Roy. You go through life, you try to be nice to people, you resist the urge to punch them in the face, and for what? Yellow, oh yeah. Yeah, Lawson, if you were not aware, Roy has yellow border lands, and they tilt people wonderfully. So black, and blue. We want to leave triple blue open just to make it look like we still have an Archmage's Charm. My Sprite Dragons are getting very deadly now. Good. Pentad Prism on top, sick. So now that we have access to the top of their library every turn, this game got a lot safer. Smash. Hey Roy, my fairies are huge. See my fairies, brah? Brah, you seen my fairies? Been hitting the gym. Snow-covered basics are metallic green bordered. Yes, they are. And it's great. Okay, so this is going to be Pentad Prism. I think I'm going to force it. The other card in their hand has to... Like, there's no way it's anything that beats me here, because they would have played it by now, but I'm gonna pitch this Flusterstorm. The Flusterstorm is not relevant as long as the Sphinx of the Final Word is around, so we'll just force the Pentad Prism. This might be the game where I get the largest Sprite Dragons I've ever had, which is kind of sick. And if we rip any of our... What did I leave in the bolts? If we rip any bolt or seal of fire, we win the game, which is kind of sick. Top deck Teamer Battle Rage. We would. We would, in fact, win the game if we top decked a Teamer Battle Rage. That's besides the point. I mean, I don't think anymore it is. I think you made it the point, Roy. As you so frequently do. All right, what's on top? If it's ad nauseum, I got to try to kill you now. Serum Vision. Serum Visions could be ad nauseum. Okay, might as well charm myself main phase, see if I can draw the bolt. I've got 3 in 30 cards. Nope. All right, well, cracky for 10. I wonder if they block. I wonder if they're smart enough to know they could die to this. Obviously, I don't have it, but if I did, Oh, I could have Brutality'd them. Oh, they had an Angel's Grace in their hand. Huh. Well, never mind. Nice. All right, we're going to Brutality them next turn and kill them, assuming that they don't win the game with... it beats them through the unlife. No, I understood why you pointed out Temur Battle Rage. Temur Battle Rage. If we Brutality'd them? What? Oh, it reduces their... Right. Yeah, the Angel's Grace would... Yeah. All right, it's cool. We won anyway. So we're going to Brutality them and then crack in with an 11-11 Sprite Dragon and a 10-10 Sprite Dragon. So we got him here. Oh. I mean, I could just have it all, I guess. No, but actually, yes. Dude. Victory. Desperately make sure they can't play Veil. Yeah, they have 0 cards in hand, so if they veiled me there, I would be pretty upset. Okay, we're going to crack in with our kitty cat because he wants to mix it up. Everyone else has been having fun in the red zone. Kitty wants to get some too. Please block my Lurrus with your Sphinx so that I can put you to 21 poison, making this the largest poison victory that Roy or I has probably ever attained. Oh. Yay! Oh no, they only took 10! Oh no, they're only exactly dead. We didn't overkill them by 11 poison. All right. Got a good 2-3. A lot of hard-fought matches there. Deck is sweet. I enjoy playing this. I'm enjoying playing this archetype. Generally speaking, it is very, very skill-intensive, which I do not think I showed off to the best of my ability today. But still well-positioned in Modern. Very, very fun to play. Pumping out your Sprite Dragons maximally is a lot of fun. I would love to play this deck with the Sprite Dragons, but I think that means you have to go down a number of Snapcaster Mage, not Sprite Dragons, Spell Stutter Sprites. And between those two cards, I know which card is my favorite. It's Snapcaster Mage. So, and I love playing Lightning Bolt with Snapcaster Mage and Sprite Dragon. So I think that's the right way to go. I think this configuration is very close to the optimal way for me to play this deck. Roy brought up the card Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is definitely something we could be playing instead of Spell Snare in this deck. It just depends on the metagame at the moment. I think having Spell Snare against Tarmogoyf and Ice Fang Quaddles is better than the flexibility that Spell Pierce would give you right now, but that's just me rattling things off the top of my head. We're going to move on to a kind of favorite, kind of pet archetype. Last time I tried playing decks like this, we were absolutely slaughtered. We're going to try a slightly different version of Super Ultra Mega Blood Moon in just a minute, so stick around. If you're live here on Twitch, and if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, you can find that as well as many other wonderful videos on the rest of my YouTube channel. So hit those buttons, look around. If you like what you see, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell if there's still a relevant bell to ring. I don't know if that's true anymore.